So, what if I told you that an ancient promise was actually a blueprint for rewiring your brain? A way to build courage, certainty, and peace right inside your own mind. It's like a divine contract for personal transformation. Let's dig in and see what this is all about. Okay, so here it is. If you help Allah, He will help you and make your foothold firm. Wow. I mean, that's a powerful statement, right? It's a two-way street, a promise for a promise. But it also brings up a huge question. I mean, think about it. How can any of us help an all-powerful being who, by definition, doesn't need any help? It seems like a paradox, doesn't it? Well, that's exactly what we're going to unpack. And you might be surprised to find out the answer is actually rooted in psychology and even science. To get to the bottom of this, we've got to look at it the way classical scholars did. They called it a divine contract, and they wrestled with this exact same question for centuries. Their big realization? This wasn't God asking for a favor. Nope. It was a call for us to take the first step. And here's the key idea. Helping God, or nusrat-e-ilahi, it's got nothing to do with God actually needing our help. The great scholar Imam Razi put it perfectly. He said it's all about us choosing to live by certain principles. It's on us to make the first move. Our action is what kicks off the whole contract. And you know what's really cool? When you start looking at how all these different brilliant scholars saw it, this really clear pattern starts to pop out. Every single one of them agrees our part of the deal is to act, and that action triggers a very specific kind of support in return. Just take a look at this. You've got Imam Razi saying, uphold the law, and the result is inner peace. Then there's Imam Tabari, who says if we strive against opposition, we get mental and physical strength. And Imam Qurtubi connects obedience to steadfastness. You see the pattern, right? It's totally clear. Our action is always met with some kind of powerful internal support. All right, so we've talked about our side of the bargain, but what about the reward? What does it really mean to have a firm foothold? It's not just about, not falling down. The scholars knew it was something way deeper, a really profound gift that happens on the inside. And Imam Razi, again, just hits the nail on the head. He says this steadfastness, or Sabat-Qadmi, is really dilqa sukun, the tranquility of the heart. So we're not talking about physical balance. We're talking about an unshakable inner calm, a stability in what you believe, where you're free from that crippling fear and doubt. It's about having a firm footing in your own mind and spirit. And it gets even richer. Check this out. Other scholars were all circling the same powerful idea, they just used different words. Zamakhshari called it mental bravery. How cool is that? Al-Alusi called it the light of certainty. Al-Sadi talked about strengthened willpower. I mean, this is basically a complete toolkit for mental and emotional resilience, and they were writing about it centuries ago. Okay, get ready, because this is the part where it all comes together. This is where ancient wisdom and modern science just smash into each other in the most amazing way. It turns out that this whole spiritual process, this divine contract we've been talking about, lines up perfectly with what we now understand about how our brains actually work. It's incredible. The scholars were literally describing neuroplasticity, they just didn't have the scientific words for it yet. Think about it. Your action, that's you deciding to carve a new pathway in your brain. Divine support, that's the flood of feel-good brain chemicals that reinforce that new path. And steadfastness, well, that's the end result, a brain that has physically changed. It's neuroplasticity, plain and simple. In fact, this whole ancient promise is basically a 3-step guide, a literal instruction manual for rewiring your own brain. So here's how it works. Step 1, your action. You decide to do something different. That intention tells your prefrontal cortex, hey, let's build a new road here. Step 2, divine support. As you start down that new road, your brain releases chemicals like serotonin that feel good, that reinforce it, saying, yeah, this is the right way. And finally, step 3, steadfastness. The more you travel that road, the more your brain paves it, strengthens it. It's a process called myelination. Eventually, it becomes a superhighway. It's your new automatic response. You've literally, physically rewired your brain. So what does all this mean for you and me? The big takeaway is this. That ancient promise, it's not about just sitting back and believing. It is an active, hands-on tool for changing your life. It's a biological process that you get to steer. And that's the core idea right there. That steadfastness, that Sabat-Qadmi, it's not just some beautiful poetic concept. It is a neurobiological fact. It's a real state of being that you can build for yourself, one decision at a time. Okay, so let's wrap this up. What have we learned? The divine contract is basically a challenge to take that first step.
Your action, no matter how small, kicks off a real physical change inside your brain. That means steadfastness isn't something you're born with or without, it's a skill. It's a neural pathway you can choose to build. And maybe the most mind-blowing part is that ancient wisdom and modern science are telling us the exact same thing.
And all of that leaves us with one last, really important question. Because this isn't just interesting information, right? It's an invitation. Now that you know you literally have the power to build new roads in your brain, roads that lead to calm, to certainty, to strength, what new path are you going to start building today?